All right. I do want to go to this next topic, and this was actually a really good Skepta Ebro interview. So Skepta made a really good point that I don't think nobody
and that's what I was saying earlier.
I don't think nobody really paid attention to. Let me play it on Twitter rather than on Instagram. Skepta. Here we go. Hold on, chat. Here we go.
Battle, what I just saw is probably passion. I think it's changed, and probably this battle, what I just saw is probably what is hit the nail on the head for me. Where it's like,
grab some liquor.
When stuff gets said like that now today, it's more personal.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think there's something about...
There was a lot of lying on there. There was a lot of lying. People was just saying...
There was one...
Shit. They was just saying shit.
There was one K-Dot diss track that came out and I was like, oh, this is over. Like, this isn't rap. This isn't a rap diss and clashing anymore.
No, they don't like each other.
This is over. Like, they don't like each other. It's clear. I can hear it. Like, I can hear it in his voice. He doesn't like Drake. When it sounded like you two just really want to see each other and do each other something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I was like that would hit him up. And I even said the same shit, when Pusha T and Drake was doing their thing and he said the shit about 40. I was like, nah, I don't like that. I don't like that shit. I don't like that shit. I don't like that shit. But then there's people who are like, nah. Then you see like the battle, the URL.
He's trying to explain to Ebro, but Ebro ain't getting it. I'm going to help him explain it. Because Ebro tried to say, yo, it was the same thing with Drake and Pusha T. When Pusha T said whatever about, 40, basically he was saying 40 had a limited amount of time to live because of his disease he was suffering from, which is MS. Now, the reality is that this is completely different. Let me just give you the reality, and I think this is what Skepta was getting to. In hip-hop, if I say, I wish your mama die, or I'll kill your mama, or I'll kill your girl, or I'll kill you, that is almost something that I think culturally people just kind of ignore, right? If usually in rap battles when people are talking about violence is so much baked into the pie when it comes to hip-hop that no one kind of bats an eye at people encouraging violence or rapping about violence. Okay? Same with drug use or the sale of drugs. What I think Skepta was getting at is that hip-hop has never been the place where people start to Me Too each other and start to take the high ground about certain type of behavior, because that's never been how battles exist on. Yo, you're beating your girl. That's even a weird angle. Yo, you're fucking little kids. You're a pedophile. You belong in jail. That's just never been how people trade insults. And what happens is that those are triggering insults for outside of the rap industry. Again, if Kendrick said, Drake, when I see you, I'm going to chop your head off, nigga. I'm going to put it on a stake, then I'm going to burn that bitch. Nobody gives a fuck. But when you say you like little children, that starts to ring an alarm, especially of the corporate entities that are tied to these guys. Yo, could you run a Nocta commercial after the biggest song is saying that the guy who's the face of Nocta is a guy who likes women, who likes little girls? That it feels odd, right? Now, again, if Kendrick had said, and by the way, I'm also here trying to not be biased at all. I'm not trying to say I'm trying to put rules on this rap battle shit, because again, there's always been no rules. But I get his point on saying why this is so different than any other battle because of the nature of some of the insults. And I don't think Ebro gets it. I let it keep playing.
Like that shit. But then there's people who are like, nah. Then you see like the battles, the URLs and all that type of shit, and you're like, whoa. It goes far.
Okay.
Maybe you know what? It's age.
No.
So he's trying to explain
we're gonna hit it though, bro. We got time. Even if they cut the cameras off, we're gonna figure this out. Do you know what I think it is?
Huh?
Because they are in positions where they are both
the biggest.
They are both really big, yeah. Have major deals, major cahoots with major companies, right? Talking to each other like this,
yeah,
is looking crazy. Like
that's a good point.
You're calling him a word, but this guy's signed to thing. So now, how can they sign a man that is being accused of this thing? So now the things that when I was clashing in grime, we never had nothing to lose. There you go. This is where I'm landing now. So when we're saying things to each other, you could call me anything in the world. I'm not gonna lose a Nike deal.
Right.
I'm not gonna not be able to put food in. That'd probably even get me more money because we'll go to the show and do the clash on the stage, and more people are paying and rare. You know what I'm saying? So
the version they was doing was hurting.
It's hurting what we've built. It's hurting what we've all built this whole time. Like you two, man. If you don't like each other, just link up and speak and just
fight. Hey, what Skepta is saying here is really an amazing point. But it won't be received as amazing because I think for you to responsibly acknowledge this point, you have to acknowledge that, and I think it's on both sides. Yo, bro, this whole woman beater shit and this whole pedophile shit, like, what are y'all doing? You get what I'm saying? And I don't think people are, especially people who support Kendrick, are at the liberty of saying, hey, Kendrick and Drake aside, when you make an anthem seemingly saying, hey, I'm outing a pedophile, or I'm outing the guy who seemingly had the best kind of cleanest, image, that's why all of these brands wanted to work with him. It has a trickle down effect, right? Nike and whoever, before they partner with somebody else next time, they might be like, well, not only do we have to worry about maybe a rap battle they get into later and somebody might say something, whether true or not, maybe we have to worry about these things that historically don't get pronounced through music. Because again, most of the shit they talk about, people ignore or accept. 50 Cent was rapping about, I'm gonna murder you, I'm gonna kill you, but he could still be part of the branding of vitamin water, which eventually got sold to Coca-Cola. Because speaking about murder and killing is kind of almost cliche, right? And I get what even Skepta was saying, like, shit, even if we did go further than that, we had nothing to lose because our brands wasn't that big, right? So let me just let him finish up.
The version they was doing was hurting.
It's hurting what we've built. It's hurting what we've all built this whole time, like you two, man. If you don't
hold on. Smartino on YouTube. Thank you for that comment. Give my boy a membership or something. It says, none of what Kendrick said matters without the real allegations. You're wrong, Act. No, I don't think I think that's wrong. I think a lot of people who are listening to this or who like Kendrick are saying, especially when they're trying to protect him on this point, they're like, well, as long as he's not a pedophile, like, nobody cares. You do realize there's certain allegations. It could be as false as it could be, right? It's very damaging, right? Like, this is what we're talking about when it comes to when rappers start throwing around Me Too insults. It's damaging. You don't have to wait for the allegations or the truth. It's still damaging.
Like each other, just link up and speak.
Somebody said did he lose deals? You wouldn't hear about the deals that he lost. You wouldn't hear about it. But let me ask you this. Do you think there's been a cool down point recently of Drake with certain things and maybe certain corporate? Let me tell you how corporate works with situations like this. Sometimes they don't drop you, right? Like a guy like guy like Drake, you don't drop Drake. Drake is going to be Drake, right? Like, Tiger got caught fucking 18 hoes. You don't drop Tiger. But you know what you tell Tiger to do? Bro, while you under fire right now, you going through this for the next, like, 12 to 16 months or 12 to 18 months, you don't mention us and we don't mention you. You think it's ironic? And again, I'm not saying I have no inside knowledge, but I'm saying, shit, Drake was pushing the Nocta thing pretty heavy. I haven't seen the Drake Nike thing in a second. By the way, I don't think he's dropped it all. But right now wouldn't be the time that Nike wants to even. It's not the best time, right? Shit. What Drake just promote last? I see Drake promoting OVO brand. Yo, go cop some Al sweatshirt. Let's get back to it. Before it was just, yo, we got a new Nocta shit. It's popping. Right now it's like, yo, cop the OVO sweatshirt, bro. Again, I have no knowledge about it, but I understand what he's saying. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, y'all keep saying, oh, without allegations, it's not damaging. It's of course damaging. And brands will back up. And again, forget Drake. He's already made it. Forget Kendrick. He's already made it. I understand where Skepta's thinking. Yo, if these two guys at the top is doing this, when their bread's already buttered on both sides, we thought they kicked open the door for us. How we gonna ever get a deal with Nike? How we gonna ever get a deal with so-and-so or perform at the Super Bowl when they're making it now commonplace that you me to a rapper? You get what I'm saying?
And just talk to each other, or don't speak to each other, but all this stuff you're saying to each other, for the rest of everyone else who is waiting in line for the doors that you've kicked open, these doors are shutting on us right now, bro. We're looking crazy out here. That's why I didn't like that. It was good until they started sounding so like it just was sounding crazy, bro.
Skepta, man, I appreciate you coming back outside and
Okay.
I think it's
Okay. So I definitely think he has a very valid point here. Now, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm not blaming this entirely on Kendrick. And I do think, I think Drake and Kendrick engaged in this Me Too beef. But I do think that there is some ramifications here. And I can't say necessarily it's good or bad, because hip hop in its rawest form was never really meant to be this material that if you're looking to cancel people, you can't find it there. Hip hop was always a place that it was almost acknowledged that you're going to find killers, robbers, drug dealers. You're going to find some of the worst people in society, if we're thinking just on a moral level, that have either changed their life around but are using these, memories for their music, or, even when people talk about some of these guys' perverse like behavior or whatever, the creatives that come out through music, and specifically hip hop music, these aren't normal people. Like, they're abnormal, usually for creative reasons. But it's never been the place. I never thought that hip hop was going to be the, if that was the case, we'd have a million Chance the Rappers, right? Like, we wouldn't have a bunch of people who, he got shot, that nigga got robbed, his chain got took, shit, the baby killed the nigga. Like, So I can't also say we need to put a boundary. And I don't know if he's floating around that idea that we need a boundary on beef. I don't know if that's a thing either, where we're like, oh, you can't call somebody gay, because that happens that way too, right? If I'm beefing with you, the easiest thing I'm gonna be like, you gay, nigga, right? That's the first one. That's a cancelable thing at this point, right? And I guess they just took it a little further. Yo, you beating your girl. Okay. Yo, you like little kids. So I think he's making a good point. However, I gotta say this, man, and this goes for rappers and everybody else. I think hip hop needs to operate in its purest form, from conflicts to battles to beef and whatever. And I think it's up to these companies that if they're going to partner with a Drake, realize you're partnering with a hip-hop artist. And a hip-hop artists do trade words. And someone might say something about them that might not be the best for their brand. And if you're trying to sign these choir boys, go get an athlete or go get somebody who you could control you could control even down to what they say, because I just don't think hip-hop in its purest form could be just controlled to be authentic, matter, and still live up to these impossible standards that you see these fucking Twitter liberals try to create to make sure you're not canceled. Oh, you've never shouted at your girl ever in life. You've never done this. You've never done this. Like, you think there's 39 genders. No. This is an imperfect place, so I can't really fully agree that niggas need to rein it in. It is what it is, man. And if Nike was gonna drop Drake because of that, man, fuck them. You get what I'm saying? Like, this is why we rock with Kanye, even though Kanye is a very imperfect person. We don't agree with half the shit Kanye say, but shit, he fought that fight to be able to, express himself the way he wanted to. And the moment we let the art get dictated by the brand deals that we get, the art then is compromised. The brand deals should want to come to where the culture and the art is, not the other way around, okay? However, still nasty behavior by doing all that stuff. Can't even lie, right? Okay. All right. Yeah, Nike laying low right now, man. Nike laying low. They're probably like, yo, listen, man, we're gonna come back next year fall. We got the fall line ready for Nocta. We're gonna get the commercial, but right now, just